Welcome to the Steve Stine Guitar Podcast, brought to you by GuitarZoom.com. If you want to improve your guitar playing, keep listening. If you want to improve even faster, go to GuitarZoom.com, where you'll find all of Steve's premium courses, masterclasses, and memberships that'll help you quickly and easily improve your playing. Now here's your host, Steve Stine.
And hear me okay? It's always a chance you take when you're doing these live things, but hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. And I'll just give you a second here to let me know. Say hello, please, and let me know where you're from. And we'll go ahead and get started with our Motivational Monday today. So I'm in Fargo, North Dakota, and we got a bunch of snow last night. Hey, Dennis. And so now we're back to being cold and having zero humidity. So, hey, Tom. Hey, Rashid. Stanlin is here from Dubai. Awesome. Hey, Bill. Cool. Jordy is here from St. Louis. Cool. Tyler is here. Hey, Tyler. How you doing, bud? And let's see here. Christoph, David, Deepu is here. Dean. Awesome. Mark is here. Thank you, everybody. Scott is here. How you doing, bud? Good, this is great. Okay, cool. Well, I'm so glad that everybody could make it. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, I don't want to take too much of your time here, but I thought I would give you something to think about a little bit. When I use arpeggios, and I know I've done a few different sessions on arpeggios, but I thought I would talk about this today just because it was on my mind. I was recording a video for Court. I've got a Court video coming out for GuitarZoom. And I was writing this thing, and I was like, oh, wow, I should probably talk about this. So that's what I'm going to do today, is just tell you a little bit about arpeggios. Now, for me, I've never really been a sweep player, although I love the style when some people do it. But it's not really something I do a lot of. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Hey, Bob. Hey, Tim. Vic is here. Kelly is here. Terry is here. Awesome. Tyler. Great. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. This is awesome. Thanks for taking time. So I tend to use them in more of just a melodic way than I do like a really fast way. But I thought I would show you what I like to do with them just to keep things a little more creative in terms of the sound that they make. So let's just go up to G major, okay? And we'll talk about this really quick. Let me grab my little notes here just to kind of explain this to you. So, for instance, if I went to G major, and I'm just going to go to G on the 5th string here, okay? And if we played G, B, D, G, B, D, and then G up on top. Okay? Now, that's fine. For me, I don't do a lot of things where I have to do barring for playing, because it tends to get kind of messy for me. It might work awesome for you. So what I try and do is try and find different ways of being able to do this so I don't have to do a lot of barring when I'm trying to play, just to keep things very clean. So if you've tried to do this, that kind of arpeggio, and if you can do it, that is awesome, okay? But what I want to do is I want to change that a little bit to try and make it a little more interesting sounding in terms of the color of it. So what I'm going to do here is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change one of the roots because I don't need all of these G's in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the major 7, which is a sound that I just love when I play. So I'm playing the root 3rd, 5th, but then instead of playing the root again as a bar, I'm changing that to this note right here, which is F sharp, so I'm changing it to the major 7. So what that's doing is really two purposes for me as a guitar player and for me as a player in general, is that I'm getting a little bit different sound in there. And the second thing is it's also adding in my playability because I don't have to bar if I don't want to. So please always remember when you're learning songs or learning licks or whatever, different things from different people. And I know I mentioned this in the last session that I did too, where when I learn songs, if I'm playing like a cover tune or something like that by a band that I like, I rarely go out and try and figure out how the artist originally played it. I just play it by ear. Maybe I'll grab some tab if I need it in a particular place, but then I wind up revamping the way to play most of the time, so it's comfortable for me. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far and you're getting motivated to take your guitar playing to the next level. Please do me a favor and leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. It'll help the show grow and reach more rock stars like you who want to improve their guitar playing. Also, I'd love to know what parts of the episode you liked, as well as what you learned. So please share this podcast and tag us at GuitarZoom.com on your social post. And now, let's get back to the podcast. So I've just never been that player that really worries about whether somebody plays it at a certain position in a certain way, and I just want to play and have fun and do it the way I want. So what I'm doing here is I'm changing that to that major 7, which is going to make this easier for me because then I don't have to bar. Now, the last note that I'm playing, I'm also going to change that because that's an octave of that major 7. So I'm going to change that. So now I have that major 7 tonality that I'm ending on. So over this G chord, I'm going to get that really nice major 7 sound over the sound of that G chord that's happening, which is just again, it all depends on what it is that you like, but that for me is a sound that I really love. Right there. Okay? So what I also like to do with that then is oftentimes I tend to use a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs while I'm playing these arpeggios. So you'll notice when I go from the 10 to the 14, I'm not picking it, I'm hammering it. Now, if you pick it, that's fine. Again, it's always about trying to figure out what works best for you, okay? Okay, so for me, what I tend to do, I mean, I might pick it, but oftentimes I'll do that as a hammer-on. When I get to the top and I play the 10 and the 14, I'll play those and maybe do a pull-off back tone. See, like that. Now, to add some color to this even more, what I like to do is I'll take that, I'm playing a G major arpeggio. Technically, right now, I'm playing a G major 7 because I've added in that major 7. Am I using any pedals, Nick? I'm not using any pedals, but I am using my Kemper, and there's a delay and a reverb just on this preset because it's usually my kind of solo kind of sound, so that's what I've got on there right now. And the pedal board isn't anywhere near me, so I'm not shutting it off right now, but usually I have that on there. Hey, Isaiah, thanks for joining me. Isaiah from Ohio. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've added in this major 7. Well, to add to the comfortability of the way that I like to play these, what I'm also going to add in is the 9th, or the 2nd, we could call it, which would be the note A. Now, again, I could tell you that I'm adding this in from a theoretical point of view for blah, 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 but the truth is I'm really not. I'm just adding it in because I think it sounds good, and it feels good. It feels good when I play it. So what happens here is I'm playing 10 to 14, and then 12, and then right here I'm going to play 11 to 14. So I'm playing a hammer-on, or 2 notes on a string, and then 1 note, and then 2 notes on a string. So this is what we often refer to as 2-1-2 patterns, if you've ever heard that before, or 3-1-3. There's different kinds of things that we can do. So for me, 2-1-2 patterns are very, very comfortable to do. So as I'm playing, so that has a real pleasing sound to my ear when I play, and it feels very comfortable. You see? So there's lots of different ways you could approach this. You could play this as just a standard arpeggio and use that G up on top there, right? Or you could add that major 7 right there and still use the G up on top, or you could lower that like I did. Okay? And then now I'm adding in this 9th. Now, it's working as a G major 7, or G major 9, right? Arpeggio. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and make sure that you tune in tomorrow for the next part of this episode. And as always, stay positive and keep playing. If you enjoyed today's podcast and want to learn guitar even faster, go to guitarzoom.com and click the Get Started button to get access to courses that are right for your interest and skill level. Again, go to guitarzoom.com and click the Get Started button.